Right. Hey guys, this is Warwick from Paul Boston Music in Plumstead. We're here sitting with the guys from Zero Stroke who just played a show on our floor. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Cool. Did you have a Joel today?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So,
Intimate.
just nice and intimate, yeah. So, just gonna ask you guys a couple of questions. You know the vibe, yeah? Cool. So, how long have you guys been together as a band?
Well, we've been a band sort of since about 2008 or 9.
No.
Me and Chad met, and then I think we got John in like 2009 as well, and you joined in 2010.
Yeah.
But then we re-looked at the brand of the band, and we had a member change, and then we decided to rename ourselves. So as Zero Stroke, we've only been around for 2 years.
Okay. So, what does Zero Stroke actually mean? How did you guys come up with the name?
Michael thought of it, or Michael brought it to our group, because, you know, when you have to think of a band name, it's really painful. You sit around for like hours on end being like, this, no, that sounds too pretentious, this, too stupid. Just lots of iterations of various things, and you kind of, you know, he kind of came up with 2 words that happened to have a prior sort of symptom to them, or were
psychological condition.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
And it was
So,
like
what's the psychological condition?
I think it was after World War II or World War One.
It was
like
after World War One, the German economy crashed, and during the crash, the inflation rates went through the roof, and the guys that were working with the money had to write so many zeros, and you can imagine German accountants writing zeros and zeros and zeros. And apparently, I mean, this was a reported condition. I mean, nobody knows if it's actually true, but apparently some guys went crazy from the number of zeros that they had to write on pages. And this was obviously when accounting was not done on computers. It was done, you know, by hand, in big books.
That's
like,
pretty rad.
And the period was pretty rough. They were at a point where people were allowed a certain time after the morning when they got paid to go off and do their various grocery shoppings and purchases, because the economy was tanking so fast that by that afternoon the money they got was worthless.
Wow. So, you guys label yourselves as a prog metal band. What exactly does that mean? What sets you apart from like a normal metal band, and what is prog itself? What makes you guys fall under that category of prog besides songs that are 10 minutes long?
Well, I think that to a certain extent the genre is always kind of about trying to push things forward, so we sort of try and blend the metal thing with, you know, sort of a bunch of really eclectic kind of influences. You know, one of our songs sort of borrowed a format of timing from like classical Indian music, and a couple others sort of try and play around with various ideas that appear in flamenco and things like that. I don't know if we do them justice as such, but you know, we're trying.
It's fair enough.
And it's also kind of about like trying to evolve a piece of music, and so it's not just the same thing.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by evolve a piece of music?
Like we often don't go with the verse, chorus, verse kind of structuring. It's as the music wants to sort of turn into whatever it needs to be, it goes there. I mean, you'll see some of the things we'll play, like a riff will come through and it'll be 20 seconds long and it'll never reappear in a 10-minute song, you know?
We don't always have like repetitions.
Cool.
We don't milk it. We try and, well, if we write something that's objectively cool or not cool, I don't know. 'Cause, you know, with your own music, it's really hard to see the bigger picture sometimes. But if we think it's okay, we don't necessarily play it 50 times just because we think it's okay, you know?
Fair enough. So what influences do you guys draw from then? I mean, obviously there's sort of like old school prog like Thundercraft Generator, things like that. There's new guys like Dream Theater. There's obviously Planet X, all sorts of things in between. So where do you guys find yourself sort of like going down the middle?
Well, I mean, it's kind of eclectic and it's always changing, you know? One week we'll be into one thing and the next week someone will bring something new, yeah. I mean, right now we're big on this Armenian piano player named Tigran Hamasian.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that's proving to be a big source of inspiration, but then occasionally, like, we'll have brief forays into classical or microtonal music, and, you know, it might not necessarily come through, but I think the influence generally is kind of a byproduct of everything you listen to, and whether it seeps in subconsciously or not, it'll always kind of be there.
Yeah, I mean, like Zappa said, he was more influenced by the things he hated than the things he liked. So, you know.
We do that quite a lot, where we write a bunch of stuff and then go, nah, that's horrible, let's put it out. Nah, that's horrible, let's put it out. So a lot of it is actually a byproduct of what we don't like as opposed to what we do like.
Fair enough. So just sort of writing a like ton of stuff and whittling it down to the stuff you actually like.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose prog's really cool because it lets you sort of move through everything and take things that sort of don't necessarily fit together, write bridges for them and make them fit together for a theme for a song kind of thing.
Don't make them fit together, just have a bar's rest and go into a completely
Fair enough.
or whatever.
Sounds alright then, yeah.
And it's cool. I mean,
Don't worry
like,
about it too much.
you show up to a prog gig and the singer starts yodeling, and you're not surprised. It's just okay, cool. That's what's happening now.
Yeah, prog generally does have weird singers. It's like the hallmark of prog.
Focus.
All bad.
Great song. Focus, focus, focus.
So your new album's really cool. You guys released it earlier this year. You guys produced it yourself, yeah? And recorded it all yourself. What was that like? What was the process of being a sort of an indie label like?
Frustrating, like you
Yeah.
The worst part is that, and I mean, I was watching an interview with Alan Holdsworth where he talks about the same thing. And you play something, and because it's digital, you can just play it again. You can play it again. You can play it again. And like 400 takes later, you're still just going, nah, I think I need to do that one again. And you sort of end up chasing the tail, and you don't get much done. So what should have been an afternoon of recording turns into a month, and
It should have
then
been like 20 takes too.
yeah,
So how long did it take you guys to actually record the album once the songs were written?
probably like 4 months.
Yeah, that's probably about 4 or 5 months.
Way too long.
So, but I
2
mean, this
months,
is the first
mixing.
time that you guys work together like this. Do you think that when you guys do your next album, it'll go quicker, or do you think that that sort of level of time is still going to be the constant for every album you put out?
Yeah, we've already kind of started recording and producing new stuff, and already, I mean, within a very short space of time, I think we've gotten it to sound a bit better than our last stuff. But that's because we're not learning as we're going now. Like the previous thing we did, we just started going, like figuring out a lot of it as we went along. Which,
So many YouTube videos.
yeah,
so
so
many.
many tutorials and stuff.
For the specific kind of mix that we wanted to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's also I suppose one of the unfortunate byproducts of making prog music is that some bits sound big and distorted, some bits sound very airy and clean, some bits sound like this, this and this, and you can't really apply a blanket mix over everything. So it often involves taking smaller sections, and EQing each different parts, but then also not making it sound like the parts are too disparate, that they actually flow into each other nicely.
And one other comment about the long time was that obviously we all have other jobs. We can't make money doing this in Cape Town. Definitely not. So I mean, the 4 or 5 months are evenings and afternoons when we can find some time. So it's not 5 months of literally sitting there all day.
yeah, fair enough. You don't have access to sort of take a month off, go to the studio and lock yourselves in the studio like some other bands get the opportunity to do. So, I've never seen you play a 6-string on stage, Chad. What's the deal with the 7 and 8s? Do you just hate 6 strings? I mean, guys like Petrucci don't have a problem with 6 strings.
It's weird because like I like 7s because of all the positional abilities. Like that low B. Okay, it's only 4 or 5 extra notes, but there's a lot you can do positionally because of it. It opens up a lot of doors, and I think to a certain extent the guitars I like tend to have really thin necks, but I really like the sort of wide D profile of them, and because I've got reasonably sizable hands,
Yeah,
I
little
find
spiders.
the 6-string equivalent, I tend to get a lot of tension that builds up there. So even to play 6-string stuff, I find the 7-strings next more comfortable.
Okay, fair enough.
The thin wide D thing is advantageous in a lot of ways. I just wish it were thicker.
So you got some Seymours that you dropped into your 7.
Yeah.
What pickups are you using, and how do you feel that the Seymours sort of affect or help your tone, or...
Well, in the past I was using ceramic pickups, and they were really good pickups and they sounded great, but I lost a bit of interest in the way that the top end was coming out, because ceramics and higher gain pickups tend to compress the tops quite a bit, and I was listening to a lot of like Sean Lane, and he used the lowest output pickups you can get on the market.
So you're using Alnicos now, or what?
Yeah, I'm down to Alnico 5s from ceramics.
Okay.
For a certain, for heavy music, you can't really go fully like super low output. They don't tend to work super well with the high gain crushing kind of sounds. And also a lot of the vintage pickups you get that are that kind of mega low output tend to be hugely mid-scooped. And that really doesn't work in a modern sort of metal context
Yeah.
where you want the guitar tone to be very apparent and forward. The pickups I ended up with the Seymour Duncan Pegasus and Sentient set. They're both Alnico 5. They're a lot warmer and they seem to be a lot clearer, and I think that's a byproduct of the lower output in general. And what's nice about them is they're ever so slightly more mid-scoop than the pickups I was using, but the mid-scoop still kind of focuses on the top mids and has a good amount of the lower mids. And in a band like this, I think that the other pickups, though they were good, we don't have anyone else. If we had a keyboard player or something like that, they'd probably fit the pocket slightly better, but the extra low end and the sort of extended top range I'm getting now that the mid range is slightly more balanced out, I think kind of fills the sound in general a lot better.
Fair enough.
And then there's the dynamic of it. Like I've been trying to do a lot of hybrid picking, and I found that the really high output super compressed pickups tend not to play so nice with that technique. Because when you're picking with your nails, you get quite a sharp attack on the top end. And the extra compression and the extra sort of lack of high end that higher output pickups have kind of makes things sound a bit thin.
So you guys play quite a bit with backing tracks and so on. What's that like? You got a click track running as well as the backing track, yeah? And you all have in-ears, or how does it work?
We wish we had in-ears.
I think that jumped off this one.
I get the click track feed, and then that I use that for my reference to stay.
Fair enough. Also, today I saw you playing through the TD kit. What TD kits are you playing through?
TD9KXV2.
Fair enough. Do you play often with the electronic kits when you play live, or do you prefer the acoustic kit? What was the deal with the electronic kit today?
We use it generally for practice.
Yeah.
For recording parts because it makes life a lot easier.
Okay.
For gigs, generally the kit's supplied by the venue, like Roar or something. They'll have their own kit.
Okay.
So I just bring my hardware and
fair enough.
standards and stuff.
Earlier you were saying that you guys play through pods, except Alex, today you weren't playing through a pod. What were you playing through today?
I was playing through a Keeley compressor because my pod is currently broken.
Right, so, do you guys have any gigs coming up?
Yeah, we got a show on the 28th of November at Illington's and a show on the 19th of December at Buckley's. And you guys can check out our Facebook and our Twitter accounts to see the details of those.
Cool, what's your Facebook account? Is it just Zero Stroke?
Just Zero Stroke.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you search for it, it's pretty much the only Zero Stroke that comes up. So.
Fair enough, and you guys also...
Zero Stroke Band.
Wicked. And you guys also have a Bandcamp page, yeah?
Yeah.
So
So
if
you can download our album.
Yeah, if you want to download our album, we put it up there for free. Well, it's pay as you want, so just put in 0 if you want it for free. Or you could give us money. And then you can also order our merchandise from there. We've got t-shirts and CDs.
Sweet. So yeah, guys, go on to the band's Bandcamp page. Why don't you buy them a beer? Thanks very much for coming through, guys. Look forward to seeing you again. And yeah, thanks for coming to play at Rocktober.
Thank you.